Welcome to the Manifesting Latina podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Norma Reyes, a spiritual manifestation coach and your guide to creating simple spiritual routines that bring more calm, peace, and inspiration into your daily life. As a busy, ambitious Latina myself, I learned how to ditch the overwhelm by slowing down and connecting with my inner wisdom. And I want to teach you how to do the same. By listening to this podcast, you'll learn how to expand your mindset, your abundance, and your ability to receive without the burnout. So if you're ready to step into your power, elevate your spiritual practice, and make manifestation a way of life, you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am talking to you about the biggest manifestation block you can have, and that is resistance. So this episode is going to help you understand what resistance is and how to let go of it so you can begin to manifest with more ease and flow. So if you've been feeling like you've been doing all the right things, visualizing, affirming, journaling, whatever it is that you like to do as your daily spiritual manifestation routine, and you still feel like nothing is shifting, you are not alone. This happens because you are in resistance to what you are wanting to manifest. And instead of going towards what you are wanting to manifest or magnetizing, right? Like magnetizing what you want to you, you are an opposite of that energy itself. So I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain what resistance is. I'm going to share with you some signs of how you might be holding resistance without knowing. And then I'm going to tell you about the power of letting it go, how to release resistance so that you can begin to manifest with more ease and flow. So by the end of this episode, what you'll understand is what resistance is and how it blocks your manifestations, how to identify it in your own life, and practical ways to release the control and let your desires flow. So, what is resistance? I like to explain resistance in comparison to persistence. So, in some simple terms, resistance is when your energy is in the opposition to your desire. Visualize that. In opposition to what you desire. You may want something deeply, but if you have some subconscious doubts, fears, or attachments to how something should happen, you're actually pushing that desire away. What you are trying to manifest, you are actively pushing it away, right? Resisting, right? Imagine pushing energy away. To give you guys a visualization of this, I often think of it like a river. Abundance is a river and it is always flowing, and we are in the river, right? You step into the river, and if you allow yourself to flow and just go with the flow, you can be in flow, and then you can actually persist, right? If you think of the flow of the river and you're persisting, you actually take action. You stand up and you start walking in the water, in the flow of water, right? You'll get there faster wherever it is that you're going. Now, resistance is going against the current. So when you are having a block in where you are resisting this change, resisting from bringing in what you are wanting to manifest, you're actively doing something to block your manifestation. You might be like, wow, what? How does this make sense? I'm going to keep going. So let's say that you want more money, but you stress every time you check your bank account. The universe isn't going to give you more because it stresses you out. You have to learn how to work through that stress, be in a more calm state, be in a more flow state so that you can receive more money, so the universe can know that you do want more money. So let's say that you are wanting to manifest love into your life, but deep down you fear being vulnerable or getting hurt. Or say you're trying to call in success, but you secretly don't feel worthy of it. So think of resistance like a clenched fist. The tighter you hold on to a specific outcome, the harder it is to receive what you want. The energy of desperation repels, while the energy of trust attracts. Now, let's go deeper. How do you know if you're holding resistance? How do you know if you are actively in resistance? So, resistance isn't always obvious. Sometimes we think we're manifesting, but in reality, we're just trying to control everything. Here are some common signs that you might be holding on to resistance. You might be feeling frustrated or impatient with your manifestation. You're obsessing over the when or the how it will happen. You are doubting whether you're capable or deserving of what you want to manifest. You feel burnt out from trying too hard, from doing all of the things. You're ignoring intuitive nudges because they don't align with your plan of how you think things should happen. So I want you to check in with yourself right now. Is there an area of your life where you are feeling stuck, where things aren't flowing no matter how hard you are trying? And that's where resistance might be showing up for you. So I want you to reflect, take a moment, pause here, and answer that question for yourself. All right. Now, here is a reflection question to help you reflect on this a little bit more deeper. Where in your life are you gripping too tightly? Is there a goal or manifestation you feel attached to, but it's not quite happening? Now, to my favorite part. Why letting go can help you speed up your manifestation. So here's the truth. The more you resist, the harder things become. But when you let go and trust that everything is happening for you, that's when you start being in flow and things start manifesting effortlessly. Now, they feel effortless. You've been doing the work. But when you are in flow, when you are in abundance, everything just feels so much easier because you are no longer resisting, right? If you have a fist, make a fist right now, you can feel that you are stopping the flow of energy within yourself. When you are letting go, you open your hands and you just let them fall to your sides, you can feel the energy just flowing through you. That's an example of how and why, when you are in flow and not resisting, that you shift your energy from chasing to attracting and allowing the flow to come through you versus you blocking it versus you repelling it. And here's some things to think about. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about creating space to receive. The universe responds to aligned energy, not force. And when you relax into trust, things will begin to unfold naturally and often in ways better than you ever imagined. I want you to think about the times that in your life, things have just felt like they've clicked. Maybe you met the perfect person when you weren't looking, or you had an opportunity just land in your lap after you stopped stressing over it. That's the magic of releasing resistance. And how do you actually do this? How do you shift from controlling to trusting? All right, I'm going to give you 5 powerful ways on how to release resistance and step into a state of ease and flow. Step 1, and these are just, you could do these individually, they're not steps. So, first, you can shift your focus. So, instead of obsessing over one specific manifestation, you can focus on your overall well being and gratitude. When you zoom out, you allow yourself to focus on new possibilities that can come in. And this keeps you from getting stuck in one particular area that's just waiting for you to release. that resistance so abundance can actually come in. Two, detach from outcomes. Set your intention and begin to take aligned action. And then trust that the best outcome will unfold, even if it's not exactly what you planned, even if it's not exactly the time that you want it to come. If something's not coming the time you want it to come, remind yourself that divine timing is not always on your time. And that's really it. Three, regulate your nervous system. Three, regulate your nervous system. Resistance often comes from fear and stress. So use tools like meditation, breath work, EFT tapping, or movement to shift stuck energy. You can go and listen to Raise Your Vibration, a past episode. I'll link it in the show notes, which talks about how to do that, how to self-regulate and how to shift your vibration. That's two different episodes, and I'll link them in the show notes. Now, four is leaning into play and joy. As adults, we often get stuck in being so serious and trying to get everything done and controlling everything, and we forget how to play and how to have fun and how to allow joy to come in. The more fun you are having, the less resistance you hold. So, the more resistance you hold, the less fun you're having. So, ask yourself, how can I make this process more enjoyable? Or maybe spend more time with the kids in your life. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have kids to have fun. Maybe kids in your life that they're someone else's kids. Maybe you go volunteer and you experience that joy of being around kids. Now, if you're like, oh, I hate kids, that's okay. Maybe your thing is animals and pets and going and spending some time with either your own animals or someone else's. Okay. Five, use surrender statements. Practice affirmations like, I trust that what's meant for me is already on its way to me. Or, I surrender my timeline and trust divine timing. And repeat those to yourself and make it a daily practice, whether it's in the morning or in the afternoons or in the evenings, so that you can begin to be in that practice of, I surrender that everything is happening for me and in divine timing. So, what if instead about worrying about the when or the how, you trusted that everything was happening already for you? How different would your energy be? So, I have a challenge for you. For the next 24 hours, just allow yourself to release control over one thing. Choose an area of your life where you feel tension and actively practice letting go. If you're stressing about money, affirm, I trust that abundance is always flowing to me. I trust that abundance is always flowing to me. If you're overthinking a decision, surrender it. Let your intuition guide you to the right decision for you right now. If you are fixating on a specific outcome, open yourself to even better possibilities. Then DM me or tag me on Instagram at Manifesting with Norma and tell me how it felt. I want to celebrate with you any breakthroughs that you have. Remember that releasing resistance isn't a one-time thing. It is a practice. And the more you trust, the more effortless that everything feels in your life. Okay, that is it for this episode. If this episode resonated with you, take a screenshot, share it on IG, tag me, of course, at Manifesting with Norma. I also want to invite you to my manifestation power hours that I am having monthly, and I invite you to join my email list so that you know when the next one is. And if you are ready for one-to-one coaching, I am here to support you in creating daily spiritual routines that work for you. schedule a discovery call with me by going to my website, themanifestinglatina.com. Thank you for listening. Remember, the universe wants to give you everything you desire. Your only job is to allow it in. Until next time, stay open and trust the process. Thank you for tuning in to the Manifesting Latina podcast. I hope today's episode has inspired you to expand your mindset, embrace your spiritual power, and manifest with confidence. Remember, growth happens when you allow yourself to receive. And if you love this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who's ready to expand too. Until next time, keep believing, keep thriving, and keep manifesting your best self.